What's up, my fellow trash here's welcome back to another episode of good content. Before I get to the episode about our flag means death, I want to get through a couple things. For the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be reviewing certain things because of certain events. Of course, me being an adult, I did adult things today, and last week, by the way. Hope you like my April Fool's prank. I didn't upload. Anyway, so next week I'm gonna be reviewing the Todd McFarlane Batman from the Batman. Quality control, not that good, but I'll get into it in the review. And then after that, I'm pretty sure after next week, the Batman will have come out on HBO Max. So I'll be reviewing the Batman the week after that. And then the week after that, the reason this episode is so late is because I was watching District 9, one of my favorite childhood movies, and it really showed how stupid I was as a kid, because this movie is weird and it's kind of hard to follow. So I'll be covering that in 3 weeks, so look out for that. But before any more, the people who want to hear my opinion on our flag means death, before they leave, let's just get into it. So let's meet the main characters. You got Steed. Is he British? Or is he British American? I think America has been settled now because, you know, the golden age of piracy. They kind of need the Bahamas because that's like the main area it happened. I don't know, but anyway, so, spoiler warning, by the way. Okay. So Steed, he doesn't want to be married to this woman because he's rich, but he has to marry into a richer family, so he gets married to her. She doesn't want to marry him, but they do it anyway because they have to. And then they have 2 kids, which in my headcanon doesn't make sense. By the way, my headcanon is that Steed is trans, and that he probably either adopted his kids or stole them because he wants to be a pirate. Matter of fact, that he wants to be a pirate so bad that he leaves his family behind and gets a ship and a crew. Too bad that his crew hates him because he's so fancy, to the point where he wants to be such a great pirate that he has a guy following him around, writing down everything to keep a journal of everything that's going on. But hey, what's this? Before they can commit a mutiny on Steed, the British show up, and then bing bang boom, things happen, and Steed indirectly kills the captain. But they spin it the other way, that he killed the captain directly. A sword to the face. But that's not what happened. Matter of fact, Steed is so surprised by it, he's traumatized by it. And for the first couple of episodes, it haunts him. AKA, the ship captain with a sword in his face haunts him. Anyway, so, because he killed the ship captain, he's a for real pirate now. And, so they take hostage, 2 British soldiers. And then they're like, alright, cool. So they sail off, but a couple days later, and while sailing at night, no one's steering the ship. They get stowed away on an island that has natives and Blackbeard's crew. We find that out later, but I think it's just okay to say it now because it's like the main thing with this show. Anyway, so the Blackbeard's crew steals one of the hostages, while Steed, one crewman, and another crewman, and the other hostage get kidnapped. Well, it's mostly Steed, his only other white crewmate with him, and the British hostage. His other crewmate is treated fine because he actually is you know, he's black. So they treat him kindly because guess what? these natives, they're not savage. I know, crazy. No, I'm being sarcastic. This is totally how they would act if colonialism wasn't bad. I know, crazy. Anyway, so they're like, hey, people like you keep killing people like us, so we're gonna charge you with crimes. But Steed is so hung up on accidentally killing a guy, who also turns out to be one of his childhood bullies. So, like, okay, you're not mentally well. Here, try this, see if this helps. It's not really like a direct medication. It's more of like, hey, how do you feel? Okay, how about you try doing this to see if it helps? Which is basically they just give him therapy while he's there. And they're like, okay, you're fine now. We'll help you sail off again. But turns out Blackbeard was sold the other hostage from the natives because they're like, oh yeah, he was totally guilty. We sold him off to this guy. So Steed, surprisingly, stands up to the Blackbeard's crew. And they take back one of the hostages because they don't need both. So they sail off. Better for the most part. So now that they have a hostage, what are they going to do with them? Of course, they're going to go to a pirate cove and sail off the British soldier. Yeah, makes sense. But here's the tricky thing. One of the crewmate, Jim, has a past with the owner of a tavern, who's a very big pirate, like notoriety-wise. Also, BT dubs, it's pretty cool that Jim's non-binary. As a non-binary dude myself, I pretty appreciate the representation. Even though we look different, we feel the same. Maybe different, but mostly the same. He, they. Those are my pronouns, in case you want to use them. Anyway, so yeah, Jim killed the owner's husband because their backstory was as when they were a kid, their family's murdered by these 7 pirates, and her husband, the famous pirate husband, is one of the guys who killed their family. You get it? If you don't, watch the show. It's very clear. Anyway, the pirate knew all along that Jim was Jim, except not the Jim beforehand. You know. Anyway, so yeah. They're like, so the pirate's other husband, because she has like, what, 100? I don't know. He sets Steed's crew up to be like, oh, we know where to sell this guy. Come on with me over to the Spanish side of the ocean. So they go to a Spanish ship. They try to sell it, but turns out the Spanish doesn't like pirates. So they stab Steed and hang him. But luckily, Blackbeard's here to save him. But Steed doesn't know that because he was stabbed and hung, remember? But don't worry, he's safe. He's healing slowly. But during then, Blackbeard basically takes over Steed's ship. And he starts to form a bond with Steed. Man, is it cute. Anyway, they start showing this very, very nice, wholesome friendship together. Because Blackbeard is one of my favorite tropes. Tired old guy who doesn't want to do this anymore, but keeps being dragged in because stuff. That's one of my favorite tropes. Matter of fact, Godzilla, the legendary one, he's one of those. In my head, he doesn't want to fight anymore. He just wants to chill out and eat radiation. So I could call that a Godzilla moment. Ow, ow. Godzilla moment. Anyway, so yeah, he doesn't want to do this anymore. So, and Steed wants to be a pirate. So it looks like they might have to do a swappy-roo, which they do. But before they can do that, while they are looking at fine fabrics, because Blackbeard wants to be fancy, he accidentally slips it out that he's Blackbeard. Steve's just been calling him Ed, because that's also his real name. Edward Check? Edward Check, I think. Also, I know I'm gonna butcher another name, but Edward is played by Taco Titi. One of the funniest guys you'll ever meet, I'll tell you. Hopefully nothing bad comes out about him in like 10 years after this video is filmed. Be good people. Focus on yourself. Just be a good person. It's not that hard. Like, literally, it's not that hard. That's like the bare minimum to be a good person. Just mind your own business. Okay? Alright, so yeah. So now Steve knows Blackbeard is Blackbeard. And so now they can truly do the Socceroo. Because Steve wants to be in Blackbeard's shoes, and Blackbeard wants to be in Steve's shoes. So they actually just straight up switch costumes. Or outfits. Yeah. But then they go out to show off. And Blackbeard's crew doesn't like that. But if I remember correctly, I think something. Okay, so after that they go back to their normal clothes, and Steed's almost fully healed by now. But Blackbeard is now teaching him things to do, and Steed is also teaching Blackbeard some things while they're on the same ship together. Oh my god, they were shipmates. This must be the biggest ship I've ever seen. Nice. Anyway, so Blackbeard's right-hand man doesn't like all this playing around, because he likes the old Blackbeard, the one who will kill without even blinking. He'll straight up stab you in the throat and be like, oh, I did this. Whatever, might as well finish it. Anyway, so his right-hand man is like, Steed, I challenge you to a duel. And Steed accepts, because he has this thing in his back pocket that he learned from Blackbeard. If you stab in a specific spot, right around your left lower abdomen, or basically anywhere in the center of your body that is like below the heart, you won't really hit anything vital. Like, you got intestines and everything, but you'll basically be fine. Especially like now. But I guess back then you have a greater chance, so you have to be really specific with the spot. So with that, Steed stops Blackbeard's right-hand man from killing him, which also breaks his sword. And now Steed wins, because that's how it works. You either kill the guy, or you break his sword, which makes him unable to kill you. So because of that, Steed kicks off the right-hand man, and now Blackbeard and Steed will sail off in the setting sun, having the most beautiful romance you'll ever see. Yeah. I mean, I could stop here and you would have to watch the show to find out by yourself. And I'm going to do this now. I recommend you, please go watch it. It's good. I might start off a little slow, but at the end of the first episode, that's where things get going. Alright? As a person with a very short attention span, what's that? I'm joking. It's very hard for me to get into shows that are very slow in the beginning. That's why I never gave One Piece a chance. or at least one that I don't have to take breaks in between because I'm so bored. Anyway, so please go watch it. It's on HBO Max. Also, while we're here, can I go to the description? I have my social medias in there. Go check it out. I'm an artist as well. Hopefully that can be my main job someday. But until then, I'm just gonna have to get a day job, and hopefully I can make money with this as well. So, yeah, that'd be really helping me out. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah, so far, with everything going on, Steed, Blackbeard, everyone, they've made an enemy out of basically three main bad guys. Blackbeard's right-hand man, the pirate from the tavern that I can't remember for some reason, and King George. I'm pretty sure it's King George. Some fat white guy, I don't care. Anyway, so yeah, you got the three main bad guys, and they team up. And it turns out, you know, the British captain that Steed killed, he has a twin brother, and he's super pissed about it. So yeah, so they all gang up on him. They bring back Blackbeard's one of his older friends. Back when Blackbeard he had a more blacker beard, because he's very gray now, because he's old. Anyway, so yeah. They all gang up on him, on all of them. They capture him. And because Steed is basically the main one, and the deal is that Blackbeard will be turned over to his right-hand man. Steed will be killed, and Blackbeard is just going to be taken away. But luckily, the king unknowingly helped them out. Because prior to the execution, he has a thing where he's like, okay, if a pirate wants to, they can say this, I forgot the words exactly, and they'll become basically a British captain of the Royal Army or for 10 years. 10 years. So, Blackbeard and Steed say that. So they go into then. Man, Blackbeard does not look... He looks weird without a beard. I think that's like the point of his character this season. Because this season is focusing on Steed. That's like the main thing he's going through. He's going through his own character arc of becoming a real pirate and fixing his mistakes he made in the past. Also, exploring other characters, because it can't just be Steed. That'd be weird. But while they're there, Blackbeard and Steed actually announce their feelings to each other. And they make a plan to go away and start off anew. A true loving romance. But it gets fucked up because of the British captain's twin brother. He's super pissed that Steed got off without being murdered. So it's like, while Blackbeard's waiting for Steed to meet up with him so they can sail away, the twin brother takes Steed and tries to kill him. But accidentally, he kills himself just like his brother. And Steed is super messed up about it. And Blackbeard is messed up by Steed not showing up. So Blackbeard just goes off back to Steed's ship with his crew and Steed's crew. And Steed goes off to see his family again. And they're doing pretty well because they thought Steed died. Man. But Steed makes up everything. He's like, we were never meant to be together. I mean, our time together was amazing, but we were never meant to be together. And she's like, yeah, no shit. And she's like, also, I'm in love with Blackbeard. And she's like, okay, cool, I knew all along. And now I have a boyfriend. So yeah. Also, I'll be taking the custody of the kids. And he's like, I don't care, I want to be a pirate. And now they fake Steed's death so he can be a pirate. But while that's happening, Blackbeard... Wow, this is a long video. Hopefully my phone doesn't crap out. So I'm going to speed this up. We're almost done. Blackbeard has a mental breakdown because he thought Steed broke up with him. It's sad. He has no beard anymore. Or he has stubble at least. So after moping around for a while, he's like, he gets, his right-hand man gets into his brain. It's like, I want the old Blackbeard, not this pile of mess everywhere. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, this is not me. Not this soggy pile of shit in front of you. I'm Blackbeard, goddammit, and I am not gonna sit alone. Steed is going to die for leaving me alone. And he puts dye over his face so it looks like a beard, but it's just stubble and like black on his face. It's just his beard and his eyes. Like, it looks like a shadow and a weird beard. So, don't worry. It's not that kind of black on the face. So, don't worry about that. Anyway, so yeah. But I think Steed... Oh, no. Blackbeard torches his right-hand man like he used to. And he sets Steed's crew on an island that also somehow Steed finds and saves. They save him. He saves them. And the journal guy is killed by Blackbeard. And he sets off to go and find Steed to kill him. And that's it. That's season 1. Man, it's good. I'm gonna rewatch this after I finish this, so wish me luck on actually watching the show with my full attention so I can actually remember things. Actually, I'm surprised I remember as much as I did, especially compared to my other times I watched shows and not remember a single name. Well, that's because all the characters are likable. That's like the main thing. The characters are likable, are like entertaining. I feel like that's the pull to this show. The charisma coming out of them and in between each other is just palpable. ASMR. Palpable. It's palpy. So yeah. That was Our Flag Means Death. Really good. I can't wait for season 2. And it's basically been confirmed. If it hasn't already. So yeah, go watch it. It's so hard to find good representation these days. Especially for people like me. All I have is Doom Slayer. There's a difference. He has no gender. Only rage. Anyway, that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what I should do in 3 weeks. Besides that, I still see you guys all later. Goodbye!